Hi guys, so I'm super excited to do this craft with you guys today. This is our bookshelf inserts, and you have the option of doing Narnia, which we see here, and this is a completed one. This is the first one I did. I love it. I think it's super cute, and I'm going to show you guys how to make the Hogwarts one today. So this is our second craft for the adult summer reading program. We have plenty of kits left over. Please come and grab them, and even if you're unable to get a kit this time around, at the beginning of August, we're going to be doing a small amount of these as an in-house program for you guys. So even if you don't get a kit this go around, we'll have a couple more at the beginning of August. But without further ado, let's get into it. So in your kit, they're gonna be in these boxes, and you're gonna want to cut the lid off of the box like this one is. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. But I'll show you everything that's in there. So you've got like your fluff that's supposed to be like your snow. You have a little baby tree. You have your string lights, which I'm going to go ahead and pull the safety thing out of. And they should turn on. And they do. I'm going to go ahead and unravel them real quick, if I can figure out how they're unraveled. And you have two things of blue construction paper to line the sides. You have a background piece. For this one, it's Hogwarts. For Narnia, it is the White Witch's Castle. You have a cutout piece that's going to sit kind of in the front, and in the Narnia one, you see it is Lucy and Mr. Tumnus and the lantern. And you have border pieces that are going to be on a sheet like this. This one is the Hogwarts one. Obviously, it's supposed to look like platform 9 3/4, the Hogwarts Express. Hence the train tracks. And that is just what's going to be in each of your kits. So we have plenty of the Narnia and the Hogwarts ones left, like I said, so you're welcome to come and grab them. Let me unravel these lights real quick. They're being a little difficult. The lights are probably the hardest part of this, but they are like a metal wire, so you can bend them pretty easily. So I'm just going to lay them here for now. Yeah, I'll deal with them in a second. So the first thing we're going to do, oh, you also have instructions too, so yeah. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this along this seam, and like it says Hogwarts right there, so you guys can differentiate which one you want. And I'm just going to cut down the side of this. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to cover this edge later. I'm just going to start cutting on this side. It's a little difficult, I'm not going to lie, but that's okay. So we're just going to cut the lid off like that, and I'm just going to move that out of there. All right. You're also going to need tape for this, or some glue or something. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to lay our background pieces and our side pieces in there. So I'm going to lay this piece first with some tape. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a perfect size to fit in there. I'm just going to put tape on all four corners. And then I'm going to stick it in the back. I'm going to stick it up towards the top because the fluff is going to hide the bottom, but you can always stick some white paper in there if you don't like how the brown looks. But I don't think I did that with this one. No, I just covered it up with the fluff, which that's fine. And you can't even see the box. So yeah, if you really wanted to, you could go ahead and paint it, but that's a lot of hassle, so no. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to line it up at the top and just put it in this way. And I'm just going to lay it down like that. And I'm just going to make sure it's made contact with everything. And now we have our background with Hogwarts. So now I'm going to do the same thing with these two, and I'm going to put them on the sides. So I'm just going to take some tape and put it in the corners. And I'm just going to take it and stick it on the sides. And once this is done, it's gonna look really good on a bookshelf. It's adorable at night when you light it up and you just see if you have a bookshelf at home. It looks like a miniature world that you can walk in. And with the Narnia one, it looks like you're actually going through the wardrobe. I'm a huge Narnia fan, so I was ecstatic to be able to do that. And these pieces are a little bit too long, so I'm gonna fold up the sides a little bit. Just because I don't think the paper was a little too long, but that's okay. So again, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing where I just stick this in here and I just make sure it's flat against the surface. So now that when you look in, it's gonna be blue instead of brown, because brown doesn't make sense. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. And with the cutouts, you can cut those out as well as you want. You can tell with the Narnia one, I just kind of made a circle and just roughly cut it out. But with this one, I'm gonna cut that one out completely. Okay. And then I'm just gonna do the same with this. I'm gonna fold up a little bit, just so it fits a little bit better. And you guys can measure and cut it down to size, but that's okay. And since this is tape, if you get it wrong, you can just move it. And so that's what it looks like now. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut out our inserts. I'm gonna cut out the outside too, just so I can be done with my scissors. I'm just going to cut this out as well as possible. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can painstakingly cut out Lucy and Mr. Tumnus if you'd like. I did not. And I'm not gonna cut out this railroad perfectly. I'm not gonna get all in the nooks and crannies because it doesn't really matter so much. Okay, so that's just how I cut out the railroad. It's pretty simple. And then I'm gonna cut out this as well. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect, and then this is going to go on the outside to cover that raw edge. Again, I think the hardest part of this craft is going to be getting the lights to lay how you'd like them to. It's a little bit difficult, but since they are on this little metal thing, it should bend where you need it to go. Okay. Now that I have all my pieces cut out, I'm going to finish putting it together for you guys. So the outside goes last, and so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and lay our fluff in, and you don't really have to tape it in, but it'll be fine. So I'm just gonna lay our fluff in like that. You can push it down a little bit, it's fine, you can still see Hogwarts, that's kind of the point. So what I'm then gonna do is put my lights in. I'm gonna string them through the fluff, if that makes any sense. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So again, they work. I'm gonna shove this right in here. So right in this little gap, I'm just going to well, I can't hold it and show you guys what I'm doing. So like that. So it's easy to get to, it's easy to turn on, and it's easy to turn off. And then I'm going to thread my lights, however, and I'm going to put tape on the parts that are that don't have a light on them. So I'm just going to kind of haphazardly thread it through. It doesn't have to look perfect. We can always move it around. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of this fluff out because you can't really see Hogwarts. But that's okay. You don't have to use everything. Okay. And I'm just going to haphazardly push this through. And it's okay if you get tape all on the inside. It's all right. And I'm just going to crisscross it back and forth so that it lights up. And I'm going to tape it down and bend it how I need it. The point is to illuminate up near where Hogwarts is. I'm going to tape that section right there down. I still have quite a bit of light to go, which is absolutely fine. We want it to be well lit in here. That's kind of the point. And again, you're not really going to see the tape so much, especially on the outside pieces. That's just because we're going to cover it with our little outside border piece. Ooh, let's make sure that's all in there. I'm going to tape that there, and then I'm going to kind of just drape the rest of it in there. I'm going to end up taping a lot of it towards the top. I'm actually just going to do that with the rest of it, and then I'm going to tape this edge here and this bottom edge right there. So that way, everything is nice and secured. It's not going to go anywhere, and it's going to light up. All right. And it doesn't have to look perfect. It definitely doesn't look perfect, but that's okay. But when I turn it on, it's not really going to matter. So that's what it's going to look like turned on. I really like the placement. I like the lights everywhere. You can do more threading through on the bottom. That's just whatever you want to do and however you want to lay it. It's going to look fine. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to put this piece, and I'm just going to put a bit of tape on the bottom here, and I'm going to tape it to the edge. And I'm going to do it long ways because it's invisible tape. So I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm just going to tape this to the edge like this. And it should stand up on its own. And it looks like the railroad is heading to Hogwarts. And you can bend this back a little bit so it's 3D and it looks like it's heading straight to Hogwarts. That's the whole point. I think this looks adorable. So I'm gonna take my little tree, put some tape on the bottom, and stick him right here. Actually, I'm not gonna put any tape on the bottom. You just wanna shove him into the fluff. The little tree pretty much stays put. And then I'm just going to tape my border piece on, and then you guys can see the finished product, which I'm so excited for. Okay. And again, I'm just going to tape this to the four corners of this. Well, they're kind of corners. I'm also going to tape them in the middle here, since this paper kind of bent a little bit. We couldn't fold this to put it in the box, and we didn't really want to fold it so it kind of sticks out a little bit. If you've picked up your kit, you definitely know this, but that's okay. And please, if you've picked up a kit and you've done this, please comment on this video so we can see your creations, and we can also count you in for some tickets for the prize that we're doing next week. So, and this does count for entries. So please let us know if you did the craft, or even if you watched the video. So I'm just gonna line this up with how it needs to go. I'm gonna stick this there. And then I'm gonna stick it there. And I think to reinforce this, what I would do and what I'm going to do after this video is probably lay some tape down here and connect these two so it's a little bit more secure. But that already looks a lot better. And now the last thing to do is put the little Hogwarts Express sign on it, and we will be done with this project. This is probably my favorite this summer, and I'm excited to see how you guys do it and how you guys make it different. And if you guys liked it, which I'm sure you will, I'm gonna stick this to the top. And there is our Hogwarts bookshelf insert. I think it's adorable. It's just a cute little thing to add to your bookshelves and make it a little bit more magical. So I am so happy I got to show you guys how to do this. Please comment on this video, like I said, and go ahead and let me know if you enjoyed it, and let me know if you like doing it. And I will see you guys next week for our next craft.